And over here in our area, we've got some weather going on, rain and some snow headed our way early in the morning. Let's send it over to Greg for the latest on that.
Yeah, pretty much it's a whole similar complex, pretty much a typical March system that you have severe weather further south. We're on the northern edge of it, so we get the snow, rain, snow. So eventually we'll all get rain, and maybe down the road we'll get the severe weather. But for this time, we're definitely on the northern edge. So we got rain changing to snow, which is already occurring. Blizzard type warnings are going to be already in effect for areas just to the west. That's because they'll have the greatest confidence, at least they're higher. They're going to get that visibility to get down to a less than quarter a mile for a certain amount of time frame. Otherwise, less as you go further east. For Richland, Crawford, and even on the other side of the river, mostly just a wind advisory because I'll have enough wind down there, but the snow amounts won't be that high and pretty wet to be blowing and drifting, so visibility won't be as bad. It'll just be a lot more wind, but still they'll see snow in southwest Wisconsin, just not as much as other areas. Now, as we look at overall the amount, still it looks like a lot of the area, just west of Winona, 6 to 9. We could see a little bit. Now, this is the amount of snow that will fall. Since it's compact and wet, it'll compact fairly quick, so what's on the ground after all this probably won't be 6 to 9 or even 4 to 7, but this is what we're expecting for falling snow. We'll have to keep an eye. Might see a little bit more enhancements towards Sparta, McCoy, Fort McCoy area towards tomorrow late tomorrow morning. So that might boost the levels up a little bit. For road conditions, it's really late tonight through tomorrow where it's slushy or snow-covered roads. Beyond that, we'll probably see it get more wet, at least the main roads in the afternoon as the snow rate kind of decreases. Visibility definitely in the morning to about noon is probably the worst condition. Not as bad in the afternoon, just given that we won't have as much snow occurring at that moment. And then roads likely will be still wet, at least the main ones for the evening commute. But given that we'll have some drifting snow, slushy parts of them are definitely likely. So that's what we're kind of looking for road conditions wide. Overall, that line is beginning to shrink a little bit further getting closer and closer to Winona. Right now, Eau Claire's has it, but the snow's not coming down at a high rate right now with the 33 degrees to really pick up too much away. Accumulation, at least on road-wise, we're still quite a lot of rain still occurring, and if we track it out, really, I think by the time we get to 2 to 3, I think La Crosse will start seeing the changeover, but then we're going to have to wait maybe an hour to start accumulating some of that snow. Grassy areas first, and then it might take a little bit to get onto the road surface. So you see the temperature still hanging above freezing. Meanwhile, throughout the morning, this is probably 7 to 10. Really, snow will be coming down. Temperatures will be around freezing or a little bit below. So accumulation of the roads is likely. This is snow covered. And then you'll notice at 10 a.m., 11, you start seeing a little bit of break west of Eau Claire and west of the river. We'll start seeing that kind of break up. So in the afternoon time frame, I think snow amounts will start coming down, especially west. La Crosse definitely after 3 won't see as much snow. For areas to the east, and maybe till about 4 or 5. But for the most part, the evening commute, I think, will be really dry. We'll deal with the wind, but overall, the precipitation will be pretty much over with, and then decreasing clouds more as we go into Wednesday night. Overall, snow amounts till 8 a.m. really is going to be hugging straight to the north with that bigger line. Further south you go, La Crosse probably closer to that 2-inch mark, much less you go further south. Now, beyond that, really, it pushes further east to where you'll see most of the accumulation. Basically, from Sparta all the way further east is where this area could pick up maybe that 4 to 6 or a little bit higher. It really tails off to a lot as you go further west, especially west of Eau Claire after 8 a.m. Snow amounts are not that high. Wind speeds, definitely, these are gusts. We see gusts potentially as high as 50 out of the north. That'll continue through the afternoon and also continue to the evening hours. So we'll be dealing with that wind quite a bit. The good news is Thursday we dry out. We have a little bit of chance Friday, but otherwise fairly quiet until we get to the Wednesday of next week. Weekend looks fairly quiet, but notice the 60s potentially coming back in for Monday and Tuesday before we see our next rain chance probably coming towards the end of next week. So messy, messy Wednesday. So if you don't have to travel, definitely don't do it.
All right. Thank you, Greg.